What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is Diusgar here bringing you people my week 6 UBL match where I'm going up against none other than Trexis, who is the coach of the Indiana Cobalions. So yeah, first things first, I'm really sorry for holding off on this for way too long, guys. However, I can assure you that by the end of this week, I will catch up to every single upload. You have my word on it. This time for real. So yeah, I'm gonna pretty much show you guys what he's got, and to be honest, this team was the matchup was rather 50-50 for me, I guess you could say. Like, he definitely had some pretty annoying threats like Celesteela and whatnot, as well as Mega Altaria, but with the squad that I was able to cook up, I think I should be able to do well with it. So yeah, let me show you guys what I have. Here we have a Muscle Band Weavile with Ice Cold Clash, Knockoff, Ice Shard, and Swords Dance. And just by looking at it, he has absolutely no switch-ins to this thing. And after I'm able to, you know, yeah, like he literally has 0 switches to this thing. So I pretty much am able to spam any of my stabs anytime, any place, anywhere. And honestly, his only proper switch into this thing would have to be that Celesteela of his, which I expect to be a defensive variant should the situation present itself and whatnot. So that's pretty much it. And also Swords Dance, because like this, just by setting up a Swords Dance, I'm pretty much putting so much more pressure on him. It's not even funny. So yeah, that's pretty much the hypothesis behind this set. Next up, we got Okada, the Light Ball Pikachu with Grass Knot, Thunderbolt, Hit, HP Ice, and Nasty Plot. Now initially this was a Zygarde 10%, which was a Choice Bandit variant, but I figured that after I was done building, my team had way too many physical attackers. Like, I didn't necessarily want my Nidoqueen to go into this match alone, and you know, as the only special attacker I got, and at the same time, considering the fact that he has a Celesteela with him, I need a proper way of hitting that thing extremely hard. And honestly, I don't like the idea of a Choice Scarf to Infernape that's locked into Flare Blitz hitting it, because, you know, it restricts my momentum and everything along those lines. So Pikachu pretty much is here to make up for all of that, and it actually does put in the finest of work, which I find pretty funny. Because yeah, Grass Knot absolutely obliterates that Mamoswine. Thunderbolt, because it's my stab, and it also smacks that Celesteela. HP Ice with Nasty Plot to make sure that things like Amoonguss and his Mega Altaria get smacked in the face. So yeah, I can definitely see this thing putting in the work unless I get robbed in some sorts of manners. But yeah, next up we got a pretty basic Decidueye, AJ Styles with Swords Dance, Defog, Roost, and Spirit Shackle. Pretty self-explanatory set. It's actually mainly Spadef for stuff like his Slowking and whatnot. And granted, while this is kind of a 50-50, because like if his Slowking ends up getting a Scald Burn on me, that is going to be quite detrimental for me. I think that's something that I can genuinely live with, because if I am burned and I'm able to trap this thing, I can essentially go to +6 on this thing, and I can pretty much beat this thing 1v1. So that's pretty much the idea behind this set. And of course, Defog is here because I absolutely do not want to one of my main win cons, which is my Weavile, to go into this match and have to constantly deal with Stealth Rock. So that's pretty much the gist of things. And for the final 3 Pokemon, I got a Choice Scarf Woojieshang with Flare Blitz, Encore, Close Combat, and U-Turn. And this set was definitely not Max. I don't, unfortunately, I don't recall the exact variant I used to run. I ran exactly back then. But actually, no, now that I think about it, I think I understand why. Because on the off chance that his Celesteela ended up being, you know, autonomizing variant, I pretty much need this much speed along with the Choice Scarf to be able to outspeed it and encore that thing after I'm able to, you know, pop its potential Z moves and whatnot. So yeah, Flare Blitz, of course, main stab, Close Combat, main stab, U-Turn, because momentum, and of course Encore, also to play the role of, you know, locking in his Mega Altaria should it try to set up on my face. So it's pretty much a panic check of mine, I guess you could say, and it's definitely something I think can definitely pay me dividends in the long run. So yeah, and of course we got a Shukaberry Nidoqueen with Toxic, Sludge Wave, Flamethrower, and Super Fang. And this is the main idea behind this set, is the fact that with the Shukaberry, I'm basically guaranteeing myself a scenario where his what's that thing called? Yeah, a +1 Mega Altaria is not going to be able to do much to me, and in return, I'm going to be able to go for a Sludge Wave on it and knock it out. And yeah, Toxic is there. Toxic and Super Fang is mainly there because I assume going into this match that he may just want to bring something like an AV Slowking. So I Toxic it on the switch in, and on the next occasions where I'm able to bring my Nidoqueen in and force the Slowking in, I can go for a Super Fang and go on from there. And of course, Flamethrower is there because Celesteela is a piece of shit. So yeah, last but not least, we got Ice Sleep, the Cobra Berry Yuxi with Stealth Rock, Memento, Toxic, and U-Turn. And if there's anything that you realize by looking at my entire team, it is extremely weak to Mamoswine. Good God Almighty, please save me from that piece of shit. So yeah, this set is pretty much here to eat whatever hit that his Mamoswine wants to go for, whether it be a Choice Band, a knockoff, and anything along those lines, and also act as my Rock Setter, something to whittle down things with Toxic, instigate momentum with U-Turn, and last but not least Memento, which I figured would be ideal for this match, especially considering the fact that after a Swords Dance, my Weavile actually just pretty much cleans house. So that's pretty much the idea behind this set, and I think this can definitely put in the work if I play my cards properly. So yeah, that's basically all there is to it for this team. Hope you all enjoyed, and with that, let's just move on to the battle. Oh yeah, as we're back right now, and as you can see, this is what my boy Trex has brought, and if I'm to be completely honest, I did not expect the regular Houndoom to be coming here. As a matter of fact, I actually expected a Mega Altaria to be there in its stead, so I was rather perplexed by that, but at the same time, it should be fine because as long as I have an Infernape with me and I do manage to keep it healthy, I should be able to handle this thing pretty leniently. But yeah, just by looking at it, I figured that Infernape would definitely be my best lead because it matches up very well, and I can pretty much get a free U-turn off against anything that I may have a bad matchup against. So yeah, that's pretty much the scenario here, and with that, let us start the game, shall we? Okay, so my boy Trexus is going to be issuing the challenge, as he is going to lead off with his Oracle, the Claydol, as your boy is going to be leading off with his Infernape. And now, obviously, turn 1, unless I want a very pivotal member in my party to die, I need to U-turn my ass on out of here. So I'm going to do just that, and unfortunately snag a crit on this Claydol. But yeah, I'm going to hard swap out into my Weavile, expecting him to set up his rocks, considering that would definitely be his best play, as I'm able to catch him doing just that. And the fact that he reveals leftovers just goes to show that I got absolutely no reason to worry about a potential Colbur Berry. As yeah, I'm gonna go for a knockoff and just outright knock out his Rock Setter turn 2. So yeah, this is pretty damn awesome, but Trexus now goes hard out into his Slowking, which kind of surprised me because this pretty much just gave away the fact that this is a Colbur Berry and the chances of him having a fighting type move were very high. So I'm going to hard swap out into my AJ Styles, as he is going to try to catch me with that Drain Punch. But yeah, I saw that coming from a mile away. But either way, I am going to just outright go for a defog here and now, get rid of these rocks as soon as possible. And just like that, everything that his Claydol was able to do pretty much died within 4 turns, which is pretty damn awesome for me, because now this pretty much also opens up a lot of doors for my Weavile. So yeah, I'm gonna go for a Spirit Shackle now in hopes of trapping this thing, as he is going to leave this thing in and allow me to do such a thing, as he is going to go straight for a Sludge Bomb here and now. That's going to do absolutely no damage to me. And yeah, unless he has Toxic, I outright beat this thing 1v1. So I'm going to just set up a Swords Dance now in hopes that I'm going to be able to take away such a huge problem to my team. But then he shows that he has the Toxic with him, which was kind of annoying, not gonna lie. But at the same time, it should be fine, because unless he has Protect or any other way to stall out the my attacks, I should be fine. But yeah, he actually shows that he does in fact rock the Protect, which is kind of unfortunate, because now this pretty much puts me in a position where I probably will not be able to beat this thing 1v1, especially if it ends up being a physically defensive variant. So yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. But either way, I'm still going to go for another Spirit Shackle now, just to find out exactly what kind of potential variant he could possibly be, as that did pretty much 0. So yeah, that just screamed to me that it is a purely physically defensive variant. So yeah, at this stage, I figured that there was absolutely nothing to gain by staying in. So yeah, I'm going to hard swap out into my Weavile, expecting a potential protect and whatnot, as thankfully I'm going to be able to catch him doing just that. And as of now, I believe that I just straight up go for a knockoff expecting him to swap out. But instead he goes for a protect, which is perfectly fine. I still kind of question it though, because if I had been able to set up a Swords Dance there, then he would have been in an even worse position. But yeah, now Trexus makes what I believe to be a misclick and try to go for a double protect, which kind of left me rather perplexed. But either way, I'm going to be able to knock off his Amoonguss with my second knockoff, and this is pretty damn awesome because Weavile is already putting in the finest of work. But yeah, not wanting it to just immediately die to this Houndoom, I'm going to hard swap out in my Infernape. He shows some nice tech in Flame Charge, which would have been scary, but again, thankfully, since I do have a Choice Scarf Infernape with me, this thing is absolutely no problem at all. But either way, I'm going to just stay in and go for a close combat, thinking that he may just want to stay in for whatever reason there may be. But yeah, he's going to make the smart play by going out into his Slowking. So props to him. As now I'm going to go hard out into my AJ Styles, as he is going to show some very nice tech in Trick Room. So props to my opponent Trexus, and this puts me in a gray situation. Yes, because it's neither good nor is it bad. But here I believe I make a bit of a misplay, because what I should have done was just kept spamming Roost, because in doing so, I would be able to get myself back up to a comfortable amount of HP and at the same time be able to put myself in a situation where I'm going to be able to stall out his Trick Room turns and go on from there. But I figured that I would just stay in and just go for a Spirit Shackle to find out exactly what kind of variant this is. And the fact that it did so little just screamed to me that this is also a physically defensive Slowking. So yeah, like that's perfectly understandable. And now Trexus makes a very good play by going for a Scald here, because he knows that he knocks me out from this range anyway, so he loses nothing by going for his stab move. As yeah, he's gonna be able to snag a burn on me, which I deem to be fine, to be honest. But yeah, I'm going to just opt to U-turn my ass on out of here, because I figured that it would definitely be in my best interest to make sure the momentum stays on my side. As yeah, I'm going to go out in my Pikachu, and now I figured that I would want to scare this thing out, because actually no. Since there was one turn of Trick Room left, I figured that going out in my Pikachu and facing myself into my AJ Styles and Decidueye, scouting for the Earthquake would definitely be my best play, because in doing so, I'm able to find out if he has a proper way of hitting my Pikachu, which he actually does. But either way, that's fine, because since the Beast Boost already revealed that he got a defense boost, I know that this thing is a physically defensive as opposed to a specially defensive variant, and go for a Thunderbolt as he hard swaps out into his Mamoswine. Now, obviously, since I don't want him to reveal to me that he is Choice Scarf set, I'm going to hard swap out in my Uxie, but he shows some very amazing tech in Curse Mamoswine, which definitely would have been a very huge problem to my team had I not made the last second change. Because looking back, I thank God I made the last second change into my Pikachu. But yeah, he's going to go for another Avalanche, as I'm going to be able to get a very nice Toxic off on this Pokemon. And now I pretty much lose nothing by just getting up my rocks here and now, because yeah, while he is going to be able to hit me harder, the main downside from running a curse set is the fact that my Uxie is going to be able to both poison this and also be able to get up rocks in the process. So yeah, kind of unfortunate for him, but either way, I'm going to go out into my Pikachu and I'm going to reveal the Grass Knot, and just like that, his Mamoswine is going to drop here and now. Which just goes to show how lucky I am to be able to make the last second change, because if it was Zygarde, I would have probably been pushing up Daisies. But yeah, since this is a physically defensive variant, I figured Thunderbolt would knock him out, but unfortunately, I barely missed out on getting the roll, which after talking to Trexus, showed me that I had a 68.8% chance to knock him out, which is kind of unfortunate because Pikachu essentially got robbed off another kill, which was more or less in its favor. But it's whatever, as now what this does is pretty much give me a free opportunity to go out into my Nidoqueen. And since I know this is a defensive variant, this is not going to be outspeeding me. I'm going to be able to knock this thing out with a Flamethrower, and just like that, this is pretty much setting me up for a good endgame. Now here, what I believe I should have done was just gone for a Sludge Wave, and instead I go for a Toxic, thinking that you may just want to set up a Trick Room and then potentially slack off all this damage. But yeah, he probably would have done that. So Actually, yeah, I stand by what I did. Basically, by getting this Toxic off, along with the Sludge Wave that I'm going to throw off on the Slowking, I'm guaranteeing the fact that poison damage is going to be able to knock him out the very next turn, unless he goes to a recovery, in which case I can just keep spamming Sludge Wave until Toxic knocks him out. So this is pretty good for me, because now the biggest threat to what could have been the only Pokemon that saved him the game is going to die right now. And now all I got to do is go out into my Woojieshang, take whatever hit that his Houndoom wants to throw at me, which I'm going to be able to take just fine. And yeah, I'm going to just straight up go for a close combat, absolutely demolish this Houndoom, and just like that, ladies and gentlemen, that is a 2-0 victory for the BPC. So yeah, not gonna lie, this was a pretty good battle. Like, it definitely put me behind the ropes at times, but overall I'm pretty happy with how I performed here. And just like that, folks, the Bullet Punch Club is already 6-1 as of now, which feels fan-freaking-tastic. Now, once again, guys, I'm really sorry for not being able to upload the matches on time, but I can assure you that within this entire week, I will hopefully be able to catch up on all these uploads. So yeah. Once again, good game to my boy Trexus. I'm gonna leave his links in the description down below, guys. Please feel free to check him out. He's also one of the new faces that I was able to get to know through the UBL, and he's definitely been a very nice dude, very understanding, and been able to compromise for me despite our really messed up time schedules. So yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed, and with that, I'll see you all next time. Peace.